Alrighty, episode 252. Steve has joined us once again. Brother Steve, aliens have been confirmed to be real by the United States government. How you feeling about that?
Oh, when's the Alien Ussy coming out?
So that alien bussy gonna hit different. There's gonna be like 5 holes, bro. We're really gonna have like some crazy porn going on.
Shout out to Fork of Cows for predicting the housing crisis, the war in excuse me, the war in Ukraine, and alien pussy found.
Wait, they actually predicted that?
Yeah, bro, I'll send you the fucking meme. It's hilarious.
Wait, no,
It's
I thought they made that in reaction. I didn't know that was like
no, that was from from January.
oh my fucking god. Yo, we actually so for those of you that don't know, Florka Crows is like this these like very baseline MS Paint cartoons made in a Facebook group, and they just meme about current events. So that's where I guess we have like the Illuminati in that thing because that's there's no way they predicted 3 things in a row. That's like Vladimir Lenin calling World War II in 20 years, bro. Like that was crazy.
No, it's like
That's funny.
Lenin predicting fucking Iraq. Like
Yeah.
how
Oh yeah. And in 2001 and in 2003 and in 1991, Iraq will be invaded twice by the United States. Just letting you know. I don't know what the fuck Iraq is, but it's coming. Like
I don't know. It's something with the Ottoman. I think.
the Optimum?
I think it's Ottoman. I think
Oh,
it's Ottoman.
oh, oh. Yo, so okay, with the aliens, right? Like there's a lot of conspiracies now flowing through. I don't know if I really believe like anything anymore, but it seems to be that aliens are genuinely confirmed, that there are people that are coming out of the woodwork that, are liberated from their NDAs, their non-disclosure agreements, and can finally talk about what they saw, either yesterday or 50 years ago regarding extraterrestrial life. And it's been confirmed that when these UFOs did crash, there were remains of extraterrestrials found within them. So there's a conspiracy called Project Bluebeam. This is one of the more famous conspiracies surrounding this, where they say aliens are going to be used as a pretext for a global religious government to be formed. So basically, what it's going to be is there's going to be a faked alien invasion perpetrated by the United States government and the European governments to make it look like we're being invaded by aliens. And then a savior, which will mimic like the coming of Christ, will, you know, take out the aliens in one fell swoop and then create a global world order based off of its commands. I personally don't believe in that theory because I really think that um, if you're the super wealthy and the super elite, you're not going to catastrophically cause trillions of dollars of damage to the global economy and ruin your bag, just to like consolidate a world order. You're going to either go to war or you're going to buy out other countries. Capital, like, that's just insanity. Now, unless we're, living in like North Korea or whatever, that would make sense. But like, capitalists, as cruel as they are, they're not that insane. I don't know. What do you think about that, Steve?
My thing is I feel like generally speaking, we are already kind of heading towards a like a global like globalization. Essentially, we're all kind of slowly moving towards being like one nation, quote unquote.
Mm,
Because I mean, if you're in most places, if you live in like within like 100 miles of the Canadian border, you can get a an enhanced ID and just travel across the border freely. You just got to show your license at the border.
yeah.
Same thing with Mexico. You can get a Nexus card, I believe it's called, for Mexico and for Canada. And then, Jesus, excuse me. I'm getting over a upper respiratory infection, so I still have a bit of a cough. So I apologize if I take a break every now and then.
No, don't worry about it. Some
Um,
diet COVID. No funny.
feels like it. Um,
Oh,
feels like it. No, I muted myself because I was dying.
oh, tough.
Um, but uh, And then look at the EU. You know, if you live or if you're just traveling within the EU, like if I fly to Spain, I can travel to France or Germany with minimal restrictions. And if I'm from those countries, it's virtually no restrictions.
Yeah,
It's
if you're
in a way kind of like best analogy I can describe is how the United States initially was. It was more just like United States. Like when Thomas Jefferson would go overseas and Ben Franklin would go overseas. Um, I know Thomas Jefferson, at the very least, would introduce himself as Thomas Jefferson from Virginia, not Thomas Jefferson from the United States. So
that's
I think
interesting.
just as time went on and we expanded, we became more of unified in a larger country. But even so, it still kind of is more a kind of sort of that way because the laws in New York are vastly different from the laws in Texas.
Mm,
When typically, if you look at other smaller countries, the law is more or less the same thing all the way throughout.
mm.
So I think just generally that's the way we're all kind of going.
Yeah, it's like we're already
Excuse me.
heading that way anyway. So I don't think that that conspiracy theory really has like any merit to it. I mean, it's a fascinating one, and it certainly it certainly tickles the fancy of fear, but I don't think that that's really what it is. There's been some other things too where um people have been saying, "Oh, it's a distraction to distract us from like wanting to unite against the ruling class." I'm like, dude, no one's talking about that right now. Like no one was ever talking about uniting against the ruling class. Like, it's literally like it's not a distraction. I think it's genuinely. It's. I think personally, what this is it's either the government trying to get more money for the space force, or they genuinely found UFOs, and they need to get more money for the space force.
Now, I think, don't get me wrong, I think UFOs exist, but
Mm,
whether they are alien or not is up for debate
mm,
because um, when I was in Florida, I saw what I thought was like an alien UFO. Turns out it was a bomber. It was a bomber plane they were moving around.
really?
And the thing was like fucking huge. It wasn't like maneuvering weird, but it was just like way bigger than any plane I've ever seen. And it looked like three different things moving in form, you know?
Mm,
The next day I was going to an airport. Um, I was going to Orlando Airport to fly back, and I saw the plane there, and it was the biggest plane I've ever seen. It like dwarfed all the other planes. I'm not familiar with like bomber specs or anything, but it was definitely like an old like B-20, excuse me, B-29 or something like the Enola Gay or something. Just massive.
really?
Yeah,
Holy
that was when I
crap!
was coming back from Disney World.
Wow. So I mean, do you think that like like so what do you think about the alien thing though? Like do you think it could be something like that where it's just military technology that's being passed off for like, distraction, or do you think people we genuinely found like extraterrestrial craft?
I think it could be a mixture of both because I am under the belief that. Oh, jeez, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean like I kind of agree with you that it could be both.
Sorry, I had to mute myself so everybody didn't go fucking deaf.
Oh shit.
Um, like I was saying, I think it could be a mixture of both because I mean, in World War II, the Nazis were dealing with V2 rockets. If you in 1941 saw a rocket flying overhead, you'd be like, "What the hell is that? That's a UFO. That's got to be an alien." Because you've never seen anything like that, and you don't think anything like that's ever going to happen.
Mm,
You know, it's not in the realm, quote unquote, like realm of possibility. You know,
even better
so it
is
could be
like
something like that.
that's true. It could be something like that.
Like
I
it's
Go
like
ahead.
if you took like if you took Abraham Lincoln and showed him an airplane, he'd be like, "The hell is that?" You know, so we could they could just be uh, like the U.S. military always prides itself, I think, on being very ahead of everybody else.
Right.
the Russians lie about how good their weapons are to scare
Kinzels.
us. And we lie. What?
Kinzel rockets.
the
Kinzel
Russians.
hypersonic missiles.
Yeah, the Russians lie about how good their weapons are to scare us, but we lie about how good our weapons are to feign how good they really are. You know?
Yeah, we almost like buff our shit, so that way people really don't understand how
Oh,
good our shit is.
the what is it? The stealth B-2 bomber, the really flat one.
Yeah.
Oh, the B-2 bomber is the best thing we have. I guarantee they have something that like goes like supersonic and drop a bomb a mile out and have it react and is undetectable on radar. Has a radar signature the size of a grain of rice.
And that's the
You
thing
know?
is that we're very like we're very secret and this is what I think too. It's like we see a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people, at least on like the internet, and in Marxist circles, being like, "Oh, well, the Chinese and the Russians are challenging U.S. hegemony, and we're gonna have a multipolar world." And I'm like, bro, you're fucking retarded. Like Russia can't even win in Ukraine, bro. Like, can you imagine getting scrubbed by Ukraine? Like
That's the
Ukraine?
thing. Russia was. I'm sorry. You go.
No, no, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say Russia was the prior to 2022. Last year they invaded. Prior to that, they were the second best military in the world, and nobody questioned it. Everybody was kind of fearful of the Russian military to a degree, you know?
Mm.
Same way other countries fear the United States military. But now there's nothing to fear. You give me an AK 47 and you an AK, we could probably finish the job.
Yeah. No, literally, we probably could too. I am the definition of weaponized autism. But what this concerns me a little bit because when you look at the if we were to go to war, right? I'm kind of worried like we're gonna end up going the route of the Russians where we might incredulously fuck up.
Now, I don't think so, only because of the amount of intel we have.
Mm,
Because it's been known that Prigozhin, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Jesus, excuse me. Um, Prigozhin, it was well known that Prigozhin was going to attempt a military coup weeks before it happened. And the United States didn't tell anybody else.
how did they like know that though? Was it just like off of prediction, or they were just like, yeah, we have like documents that back it up?
Oh, the CIA sucks at coups, but I guarantee they know what we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah, they probably do. They probably have us on a watch list from like 100 episodes ago.
Exactly. So, hi, Mr. FBI agent.
Yeah,
Watch, he just
please,
clicks in.
please, please
Hey,
don't.
guys.
Hey, guy. Yo, imagine the street. Yo, so like on the Twitch count, like there's a viewer list. Imagine if there was another viewer that joined in, I would actually be like, all right, we're done. Bye. Like that's it. The show's over.
Oh, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I'm disappearing off the face of the earth. And the CIA would still find you in Antarctica. So, uh,
Exactly.
I actually feel like if you try to disappear to Antarctica, that's the easiest place to be found because you're either gonna die or like you have to go to one of the research stations.
Fun fact, actually, at the very South Pole, at like the actual like geographic South Pole,
Okay,
there's a bust of either Stalin or Lenin. I'm not entirely sure which one, but
that's
it's one
fine.
of the two of them.
That's pretty
But
based.
and it's because I think the Soviet teams were the first ones to actually hit the geographic South Pole.
I love how
Because even like
no,
I've looked into going.
go ahead. My bad. My bad.
I'm not talking. I've looked into going into Antarctica to go work down there, and
Right.
they have a research station that's right in the middle of the South Pole, but it's about 200 yards off of the geographic South.
Really? So you'd be like a step away, basically, from the geographic South Pole.
Basically, yeah.
So why are you gonna actually go to the South Pole, or you just decided against it?
Probably not. Well, either way, I can't go down there now. It's the middle of winter down there, and it just hit a record low temperature.
That's terrifying.
Minus minus 83.7
Minus 83.7.
Celsius.
Oh, that's fucking horrible. Holy shit, Steve. Yeah, don't go down there, bro. Don't go to
Bro, I
the.
love the cold.
I know you love the cold, bro, but that's excessive. Like, don't fucking do that. Don't fucking do that. Wait, so to get back
Uh,
to aliens, like, did you see the alien hearing?
I did not. No.
I saw like highlights of it, and Matt Gates was actually asking some questions, and he was like, "Yo, like, I, I'm not a fan of Matt Gates, but the guy was like, yo,
No, nobody is.
yeah, but he was asking the questions. We were all kind of curious. He's like, yo, like, when the plane, like, when these UFOs like crashed, like, were there like remains in them?" And he was the guy that they were asking the questions to was like, yes, but I can't really go into further detail in a public forum. And I'm like, that means they found that shit. That means they found
Hmm.
that shit. So I don't really know what to think about this. I mean, really though, here's the thing: like, no one seems to give a shit. Like, I only really started to pay attention because you told me you wanted to talk about it for this episode, and I was like, all right, I guess I gotta kind of pay attention to what's going on now, just to be informed. But if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have even paid attention to it. So like, I'm just kind of curious. Like, I wonder why do you think no one's really giving a shit about it? Because I remember if we were kids, everyone would have been freaking out about it.
But I think it's mostly because there's no like definitive proof. You know, I mean, if the guy pulled up with a video of him and the aliens throwing dice at Area 51, everybody would have been like, "Oh shit, it's real," you know.
Right,
But he was just getting, um, like it was quote unquote like boring evidence, you know.
right, yeah. It's just more
He's
like
just talking about it.
it's like
Yeah,
when
he's
they
just talking about it pretty much.
it's like when they declassified that they killed Martin. Well, I don't know if they declassified that they killed Martin Luther King, but or like the Afghanistan papers
And
when
the
they came.
suicide notes and everything.
The what?
The suicide note or the note threatening Martin Luther King or trying to egg him on to suicide.
Yeah, that one. When that was declassified, no one really
Yeah,
cared. Or like, there's a lot of
yeah.
declassified
Same thing
stuff.
with Gulf of Tonkin.
Or the Gulf of Tonkin. Yeah, well, actually, when that came out, everyone that turned everyone against the Vietnam War. But there was
No, but that only came out like recently, fairly recently,
oh,
2013.
that came out in 2015.
13, I think. The Gulf of
Really?
Tonkin was staged.
Oh.
Yeah, I just want to put this on here. I don't know if this is an official stance you want to take.
Okay.
Fuck Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, fuck Henry Kissinger. He's a douchebag. He can die.
Until you have seen Vietnam or Cambodia, you will not understand how much that everybody who has been there wants to beat the life out of Henry Kissinger with their bare hands.
That was an Anthony Bourdain quote, wasn't it?
Something to that effect, yes.
Pretty based. I remember reading that, and that was I can't believe that. And this is the thing too, like a lot of our wars have been false pretext. Like remember with Iraq, it was weapons of mass destruction, and and there were no weapons of mass destruction. And then like 1.5 million Iraqis just died. Like it was nothing but
Well, to be fair, Saddam wasn't the best either.
he was a douchebag. Yeah, like people were genuinely happy we pulled up, but like it wasn't like our responsibility to do that either. And I think like this whole like the way our foreign policy is conducted, like I understand why it's done, but I also abhor it. And that's why when it comes to the alien thing, I'm like, all right, like is the United States gonna try and freedom the fucking aliens, bro? And we're just gonna start like strafing the shit out of their planes with the Space Force, or like, what are we really doing here? Because I don't really know where this is gonna go or what the plan is. Because there's always like if they're starting to acknowledge that aliens are real, right? And it's to drum up dollars for
Mm-hmm.
the Space Force, like which I'm in support of because, we don't know if the aliens are hostile or if they're friendly. But either way, if spacefaring nations are starting to contact us and they're like, "Yo, Earth, like we're here and we are 50,000 years ahead of you technologically, like how you doing?" I don't know, bro. I'd kind of want like super stealth B-58 bombers with lasers on them. That's just me.
What the thing is, have you ever heard of the alone in the forest theory?
No.
So basically, it's like you're walking through a dark forest, right?
Mhm.
And like you don't exactly know where you are, and it's very, very dark.
Okay.
You can't see where you're going, and you don't know what's around you, but you hear rustling, right?
Mm.
You yourself are going to try and stay very, very quiet, right?
Right.
You're not going to try and broadcast your location out.
No.
But the theory is that a majority of these alien civilizations are doing that. They've seen, like, say, from a distance what's out there, and they're trying to be quiet to not draw attention to it to themselves,
So basically,
which
like,
is what people believe we should be doing.
what you're saying is that there's a bunch of spacefaring nations out there that are unaware of each other because they see each other. Well, not unaware, but like they know each other exists, but they're trying not to draw the attention of each other because they just want to be left alone. But then we're out here with a giant
Exactly.
antenna and we're like, "Yo, we're Earth. Like, what's going on, everyone?"
Because in theory, I mean, I'm not a fucking alien, but in theory, we could have been the only planet to ever develop radio waves. They could be using something totally different. They could have found a way to transmit things through microwaves or gamma waves or X-rays or something. We
Oh.
could be the only thing to transmit things through radio, which is easily detectable. So, like, for example, like right now, Alpha Centauri is about 4 light years away. That's the next closest star.
Okay.
It's 4 light years away. Right now, they're getting broadcasts from 4 years ago.
Really?
So,
Wow.
like, basically, the further, excuse me, like right now, there's about I would say probably about a 100 light year radius that could have hurt us right about now.
Wow. What the fuck? Now, so
And
if
so it could be nothing. It could be something. Who knows?
it's a very interesting question, and it's kind of curious as to like, if that alone in the forest theory is the true theory, what makes us so different to want to reach contact with other civilizations, knowing the risks as opposed to just laying low and trying to do our own thing? Like, what I wonder what drives us to communicate with other beings. Like what? Why is this the human obsession?
I would say kind of naivety.
Hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Like we're just naive as a species. Because I feel like humans are generally very social creatures,
Hmm.
you know. But it's like if you hang out with the same group of friends every day, you get bored, you know.
Mm.
So I think it's kind of just generally as a species, kind of getting bored of each other. So we're trying to find something else, something more exciting, different, exotic, you know.
Alien pussy.
Yes, exactly.
I wonder who the first person will be to have sex with an alien, if they haven't already.
I guarantee, I guarantee it's gonna be Elon Musk, and he's gonna be like, and he's gonna like be arrested by them for something. Like he's like the alien's gonna be like 80 years old, but like 80 is gonna be juvenile for them, so he's gonna get arrested for like I don't know if you can say that, but you know where I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be the most insane plot twist of the 2020s. That would be insane.
What do you mean?
But it's 80. Yeah, the 80 is a child in Alien. You
Yeah, we live 2,000 years old. That's the equivalent of like a 2-year-old.
It's fucking evil. Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm gonna get canceled if I haven't been already. But yo, like
Elon.
Elon, Mr. X, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the reason we found aliens, or like he was like one of the first people to find them.
I feel like he is the alien.
He could be the alien. I mean, he'd be a pretty based alien, but like he'd be like that alien. He'd be like Roger from American Dad.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Townie.
Fucking Roger.
Roger, the fucking gay libertarian. Um,
Oh, God.
that would be pretty based if there was like a libertarian fucking alien space force out there that was just like, yo, Earth, what's good? And then left us alone. Like that would be based.
You know
But
what? I like the, um, there's like, of course, the aliens, there's like a whole million different theories and shit.
yeah, of course.
That, like, we could be one of the weaker, like, species, or we could
Hmm.
be one of the stronger ones. I read this thing. Somebody typed up a thing or whatever. It was on Tumblr, so it's really just like a fanfic kind of thing. But I thought the idea was kind of cool.
Okay.
That how people survive, from like freezing cold temperatures up in the north and the south, all the way up to like blistering hot temperatures. That
Hmm.
humans are actually one of the strongest species in the universe or galaxy, let's say,
Hmm.
and that like physically we're one of the stronger ones. We don't have the tech, but we're physically one of the more adaptable and stronger species.
I think we're a more hopeful thing, a
But,
more
but
hopeful species too.
well, that's more hopeful. But I mean, it's definitely like an interesting thought. But we could also be one of the weaker ones. Oh, they live at like 70 degrees, and they vary from like -50 to about 110. I sit down at -300 and like 500 million.
Yeah, like they could be stronger than us, but like the way I see it too, I feel like we have a predetermined destiny that we like every human society has realized that like we have to be the master of the world and the universe. So like I kind of feel like we are not gonna get like curb stomped. We'll get fucked up if the aliens invade. Don't get me wrong. Like we will be big time fucked up, but like we're gonna survive and win. It's just gonna be horrifying at the end of the day. Because like it's
Uh,
not gonna be like conventional warfare.
I, for one, in advance, welcome our new alien
Ah,
overlords.
where was that from?
Um, that was The Simpsons, actually. I, for one, welcome our new alien overlords. This is Kent Brockman.
Or- That's funny. I love the Sim. Wait, oh, the Simpsons talked about that? What year was that? Did they give a year?
90. It was in the 90s, I
That was
think.
in the
Like the
90s.
golden age. I think it was when they first introduced those two big aliens, Kang and Kodos.
Oh, okay. So it might be. Hey, listen, it might be coming, man. It might be coming. The aliens. It might genuinely be real. Because I remember during COVID too, or right before COVID, there was a talk about like Israeli scientists and scientists in San Francisco saying like, "Yo, there are extraterrestrials. Like, we have proof." And then COVID-19 happened, and that kind of got like pushed to the sideburn. But which is like, maybe it was a conspiracy, but it's just very interesting that like the last couple of years, the last maybe 4 years, aliens have been slowly becoming more of like a, yeah, like we might have to like start seriously talking about this and releasing it to the public because if the president of the United States is saying there's aliens, like now we really have to look into it because the public is starting to freak out. Because remember when Trump was like, "Listen, man, I can't confirm or deny that there's not aliens. Like I can't say yes, I can't say no, but like they're out there maybe." And then Obama said the same thing.
There was definitely quite a definite possible, not really chance that they may or may not be living somewhere, not totally not near us.
Like they live on fucking Mars, bro. It's like, ah, shit.
Well,
Like,
well, well actually, on Venus, um, back in the 70s, I believe, they
mm,
detected phosphine gas. Now,
phosphine gas.
phosphine gas doesn't typically occur in nature, or like randomly, I should say. It usually occurs from biological activities.
Oh,
Um, and but at first, they kind of, passed up on it, thinking like, okay, well, the planet's like a giant gas planet, so maybe it's just there.
And is that like the
But then
prevailing theory?
recently,
Okay.
they detected more phosphine gas in increasing numbers.
More
So it's a
phosphine gas.
theory. So it is a theory that it could possibly be some sort of life down there. Whether it be, it's most likely not intelligent, but it could be something down there.
But what is phosphine gas? Like, describe it. Is it industrial?
That is actually no. It's typically um, from biological sources.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
actually
So
looking it
like
up
like
'cause I forget exactly.
like
Uh,
pooping and
uh,
shitting and
I forget
farting.
exactly. I'm looking it up real quick.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. Oh, it's phosphine, not phosphane.
Phosphine. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I know a little bit about stuff, but
He said I know a little bit about
maybe it
stuff
wasn't.
like that's
Maybe
interesting.
it's not phosphine. I don't remember because this same phosphine is highly toxic. Maybe I fell for something.
You know, it could be like uh it could just be like animals or something, which would still be very cool. I mean, like, because then like now we're like the aliens to them and we could fuck around with their planet and it's like, all right, like, they're just like dumb animals. Like, let's just watch them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, right.
it'll be very interesting, like, if that's the case. But if they're
Holy
like
shit! They made Spore in real life.
they made what?
Holy shit! They made Spore in real life.
Yep. Stop. I used to play that game when I was like 12. I love that game so much.
I
I might
still have it
actually
on Steam.
I might actually cop that. It's like $10, right?
On Steam, it's like dirt cheap, bro.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to cop that. I used to play it as a kid all the time on my dad's like really shitty laptop, and I fucking loved that game, bro. I had like the weirdest
Yeah.
civilization ever. Um, I made these things. They looked like feet with like tentacles and stuff. It was fucking hysterical. I loved it. That shows you how we play Hoi 4. It's a big tell as to why we play Hoi 4. Um,
Hey, I capitulated the Soviet Union in 1940 as Lithuania.
that is incredibly based, and I don't know how the fuck you did that. How did you do
I'll
that?
do it next time we play. Merge with Poland and then just attack.
What the oh, because you have Lithuania, so you can punch through like the northern end of their country that's usually not defended.
Yep.
Ah, smart move. And then they get trapped in the Caucasus and Kazakhstan, and then you could push to Leningrad and it's over. That's how you do it. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I pushed all the way into Uzbekistan.
Oh my fucking god. Did you annex or puppet?
Oh, I annexed.
Based Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth that extends through Russia. That's so base. Okay. But
Yep.
alien time.
Also, yeah, whatever. Aliens, aliens,
Aliens,
aliens.
aliens. Yeah, we're gonna don't get me started on a
Aliens.
Hoi 4 podcast. Um, but I really think like okay, so with the Space Force, I really want to touch on this, right? Okay. What do you think about the Space Force?
Yes,
Do you
let's
think
do
do you think that it's a
it.
good thing or do you think it's stupid?
Well, right now, I feel like it's only ready for tracking satellites and launching satellites.
Right.
I don't feel like. I mean, we always use something for it, but I feel like it generally was just like, hey, we should probably have a branch in the military watching our satellites, our rocket launches, so the Air Force doesn't have to worry about it, or NASA doesn't have to worry about it, you know?
It makes more sense. I think that's like at the time when Trump did it, I was like, "Oh my God, what a fucking retard." And then I'm like, actually, you know what? That makes sense. And if there are actually aliens out there, we should have a apparatus in place where we can deal with that. It's just kind of like, oh my God, it's a space force. Like that's so fucking weird. And no, the worst part about it is that none of the branches that already exist know how to make fun of the Space Force. Like they don't know how to. They're just like it's just weird. It's like who's even in the Space Force? Really what it is like people that were in the Air Force and I feel so bad for these people. Like people that were in the
They
Air
just
Force who are
got
just
moved over.
yeah, they're like, yeah, you're in the Space Force now. And they're like, wait. What? I'm in the what? Like, you gotta be like, it's already worse that, like, you're already getting your balls busted because 'cause you're in the Air Force, bro. The Space Force, bro, Chair
Talk
Force
about the
jokes
chair
taken to
force.
a new level. I wish Wayne was on this because then we could fucking be like, "Yo, bro, how would you feel if you were put on the fucking Space Force, bro?" Oh my
Bro,
god.
the memes when they announced the Space Force were great.
Oh my god. I fucking can't wait. What were some of your favorite from that time?
I'm gonna send you one.
Okay, bet. Let me try to pick up my phone with my feet. There we go. I'm gonna have to look up Space Force memes too while we're talking about them because they were just really okay. You sent me a meme. God
That's what
Emperor,
you said. Send you the wheel.
and it's literally in like 420p, bro. God Emperor Trump aids his space marines in the Battle of Mars 2022, and it's like him in a Spartan suit. That's fucking great. Wait, where's hold on. I gotta go on Twitter. Twitter's where like you could still at least get fucking good memes still. Wait a minute. Space Force memes. And
I've
it's
had
so
this
funny.
turned into like something stupid. It's supposed to be fucking aliens, but
Fucking aliens.
now it's just Space Force.
Bro, it's funny because the Space Force literally like ripped off Star Trek's logo. I think that's the funniest part about it. It's like what's Star Trek gonna do? Sue the DOD, bro? Like, no. Like
Yeah, right.
let's see here. Um something about the Pope. United States Trump unveils new Space Force logo. Yes, it looks like something from Star Trek. Yes, it does. Space Force. I wonder if I could find like the Space Force account. It's oh my god, they have an actual Twitter account and it looks literally like
Yes, they
Star
do.
Trek. That's
Hey,
so
hey,
fucking funny.
say it right. It's X.
Oh, fuck up. I'm surprised Elon Musk isn't in on this.
He is the alien.
He should
Every
be, right?
time Trump or Pence say Space Force, all I can picture is Spaceballs.
Oh my god, yo. The memes are endless with the Space Force, but I think that like do you think that we have like space fighter jets? Because that would be really cool.
So what I'm saying is, if the Space Force leads to Space Jedi, I'm cool with it.
Yo, can you imagine we have something like the Jedi? That would be so based.
Well, some guy made a lightsaber. You saw that, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was a controlled flame. Like super hot flame was like 6,000 degrees, and only went up about 2 3 feet.
Uh, so we have
It was
lightsabers
six
now?
thousand degrees.
So we have
Hold on, I'll send you the
lightsabers?
link for it.
Please send me the link.
Well, I
That's
mean,
fucking crazy. What? Son really just said we have lightsabers. No fucking shot, bro. Wait, I just got a text. What is this? Oh, it's a Star Destroyer that says Trump make the galaxy great again. It's great. I'm gonna have to post some of these memes when I promo the episode. That's so funny. But
yeah,
I think we covered enough of the aliens today. So Steve, I just want to thank you for coming on the show. And for everyone that's listening right now to our very special Saturday night broadcast, I want to thank you again for listening. This is episode 252 of Backpacking America, and I will see you guys Monday at 6 p.m.